Back to follow-up segment tonight. As you may know, the Obama administration has announced it will try the mastermind of 9/11, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and 4 other al-Qaeda thugs here in New York City. That is causing major angst.
He's either a criminal or he's a terrorist. A criminal ends up in court, in the U.S. court. If you're a burglar or a murderer, if you're a terrorist, you are engaged in war against the United States, and you are to be treated as a combatant, or in this case, an illegal combatant.
With us man is a man who disagrees. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Was 9/11 an act of war, in your opinion?
Neither the Bush administration or the Obama administration can answer that, because both tried people or plan to try people in military court and in civilian court. So the government doesn't know the answer to that question.
But in your opinion, was it an act of war?
No, it was not an act of war.
It wasn't?
No.
Was Pearl Harbor an act of war?
Yes, Pearl Harbor was an act of war. It was government versus government. My opinion is animated by the law.
Don't outrun your coverage here. All right, so it was Japanese government against American government. Now, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, he is a member of al-Qaeda. That's a group, not a government.
Yes.
But it operated in Afghanistan under a government of the Taliban. So aren't you splitting hairs here?
No, I think the administration couldn't answer that question.
No, but I want you to answer it. I don't care about these Washington pinheads.
Well, they are pinheads, but under the law, it would have to be government versus government. Because if you can declare any act you want, the war on drugs a war, the war on the mob a war, then that changes the way those people are treated by the government.
I said this way back. If the Bush administration had declared war on al-Qaeda, a terrorist group, then you wouldn't have the opinion you have now.
That's right. There was no declaration of war.
So because there is no declaration of war, you say that any terrorist act, and surely 9/11 fits that bill, right? Surely 9/11 fits the bill of terrorist act.
But it is not I who is saying it. It's the Constitution that is saying it.
I don't care about the Constitution. The Constitution isn't here. You're here. Don't be a pinhead. 9/11 was a terrorist act, was it not?
It was an act in which individual people, not a government, slaughtered innocents in America.
Was it a terrorist act? Was it designed to terrorize the American population?
Yes, of course it was.
So the guy arrested is arrested in Pakistan.
Right.
Right? So why is he entitled to come to New York City to be tried in a civilian criminal court if he's arrested in Pakistan?
Because the document you don't want me to talk about says when the government is going to prosecute you, it must do so in the place where the alleged harm was caused.
Okay, then why isn't he being prosecuted in Boston when they entered the airport at Logan, or in Pennsylvania, or in D.C.? It was all there on 9/11.
Because the federal rules say you are prosecuted in the first place that you land in the United States, and the government has chosen to bring him here. That's a policy decision, which city they're going to bring him to.
I think this is a terrible mistake. I'll tell you why. This is going to turn into a circus and a show trial. Bush is going to be on trial, the CIA, waterboarding, and all of that.
None of that happened when Zacarias Moussaoui, who's now 250 feet below the earth.
4 years
But he was prosecuted fairly. He was sentenced to life in solitary confinement.
It was a circus. It just immediately didn't zero in on the circus. Last question. The guy has admitted it. He said he did it. We don't need to put him on trial. And he wasn't Mirandaized. He didn't get Miranda rights because he was arrested in Pakistan.
Well, he got his Miranda rights when he arrived in Cuba because the military judges gave it to him. The admissions that he made are after he got Miranda and after he arrived in Cuba. That's the evidence against him. Every time somebody admits something, they're automatically guilty.
I agree with Krauthammer, not you. I think this guy should have been taken care of. But I respect your opinion.
And I'm glad to have me on.
I respect your opinion. Okay.